What up, fight world? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Want to give you guys this Canelo versus Cotto update. Fight is still not finalized and official, but they had a meeting on Thursday, and I want to give you guys some updates and talk about it. And I told you on my channel that Mayweather versus Pacquiao, for me, was the #1 fight that I needed to see based on this generation's best and the long, rich history of those two fighters. That happened. We seen it. We got an outcome. Cool. And I told you the #2 fight that I want to see was Canelo versus Cotto. Not only is it a good stylistic fight, but it's a meaningful fight, which could lead to future fights like Triple G, Golovkin. And the scope of the fight, it's a huge fight. It's a blockbuster fight. And I'm always down for those big events in boxing. Mayweather Pacquiao, despite the backlash and people saying it's boring and stuff, it's good for the sport. That many eyes on our sport when they're making movies like Southpaw and Creed and all these movies about boxing. When boxing's back on prime time, these are all good things for the sport of boxing. So yes, I love to see an epic blockbuster fight. Cotto has a fan base, Canelo has a fan base, and that's what this would be if the two were to meet in that square circle. An epic blockbuster fight. And good thing about this versus like a Mayweather Pacquiao was very complex. So you had you had Les Moonves and CBS, which is the parent company for Showtime. You had HBO, and there was a lot of segregation and separation in those negotiations. That's why you didn't really see a face-off or anything like that. But Rock Nation, Golden Boy, Canelo, Cotto, they've been both on HBO recently, and there's no reason why we wouldn't be able to see like the standard HBO 24/7 face off. They both speak Spanish. Miguel Cotto is bilingual. Canelo knows some English. You know what I'm saying? But they're on the same network. So I think we will really get the proper build up. Now, as far as the update, they had a meeting on Thursday to kind of finalize and go through some of the details. I'm optimistic of this particular fight for a few reasons. One, it's a big fight. And Rock Nation, and Golden Boy, but Rock Nation, they haven't done a big fight yet, like a blockbuster fight. They had Andre Ward versus Paul Smith. I was in attendance for that. That was like a kind of return tune-up at a catchweight, tune-up style opponent, I guess you could say. Then you had the opening card in New York with Jay-Z and I think Dusty and Toriana Johnson. A couple other people were on that particular one. Cotto Gill, but nothing to this magnitude. So I think Rock Nation, as they plant their feet and try to plant their seeds, they're trying to get a big mega fight under their belt to say, hey, we're here. This is that. So I think that Rock Nation really wants to make the fight for that reason, because this is big for their business as well, saying, hey, we're willing to work with everybody, and hey, we could do crazy numbers. Because so far, Cotto Gill is probably their highest rated like cable viewing performance that they've had. Now, for me, Golden Boy, another reason why this fight, I think that they really want to make it, is the time is now. You look at Cotto, it doesn't really sound like he wants to fight Triple G first. There's other lesser fights for Cotto, like David Lemieux's a good fight, but why fight David Lemieux, which is a dangerous fight, when you could fight another dangerous fighter in Canelo and make a lot more money and have a bigger event? You know what I'm saying? So, and you could do it at a smaller weight, whereas David Lemieux, why would he want to come down from 160 to fight Cotto when he feels he's a star? And also, Cotto is the lineal middleweight champion versus Canelo hasn't made the trek up to middleweight. So everything falls into place, and I'm really optimistic that they'll get this fight done. Now, this is another thing I want to give some clarification. There's a lot of people who are under the impression still that we don't know who Mayweather's going to fight officially. A lot of people saying Berto, but we don't know officially. Mayweather's Mayweather. So he's supposed to fight in September. But some people are under the impression that this is going to conflict with Cotto and Canelo. And I'm going to tell you, it has nothing to do with that. Because a few reasons. Mayweather, they're not going to try to battle. People have said they're going to do it. Like Canelo has said he's going to battle for the quote-unquote Mexican dates and stuff like that. And he always ends up getting backed out from those dates. So they know that. They're not going to go against Mayweather. Even though Cotto Canelo is a bigger fight than Mayweather Berto or whatever the situation is. But they're just at this moment letting him have it. And more importantly, Cotto feels he's the A side in this negotiation. And he's Puerto Rican. The Mexican dates, quote unquote, Mexican Independence Day weekend is that September. You know what I mean? September 12th, the weekend of September 12th. So that doesn't really even affect Cotto because he's Puerto Rican. That's his heritage. So why would he give Canelo that type of crowd leverage? Because as you guys know, La Raza, when Mexicans, a lot of them come out to party and they come out to play. You know what I mean? So I don't really see Cotto allowing Canelo to have all of his fan base come out and turn up, and he feels he's the A side. So September is out of the question. The fight's not happening in September, and hopefully that makes it clear. But some people are still questioning, like, oh, will this happen in September? Because I'm going to watch this fight. You don't have to worry about that because this fight, they're talking about doing it fourth quarter, likely in November, possibly December, but I think November is the strongest date. As far as the venue, I'm hearing different things. I don't think it'll be in Texas. Some people have said, oh, we really want it in New York. I think Cotto's team wants it in New York, but Golden Boy is not, you know what I mean? They've been in the business long enough. Oscar De La Hoya's been in the business long enough. Canelo knows what he's up against. So I really strongly believe that it would happen in Vegas. If they can finalize it, I really feel Vegas is a ticket. That's more of neutral ground. If it's Texas, it's pro Canelo. If it's in New York, it's pro Miguel Cotto, period. So I don't see Canelo's team or Oscar De La Hoya wanting to give up that type of leverage. Same thing. This is all, when you get to this level with two superstars like Canelo and Cotto, it's all jockeying for position. Now, they agreed on the catch weight because Cotto's not a big middleweight. Canelo's been fighting at 155, so there's really no reason to disagree about the catch weight of 155, so that was easy. The purse split, I don't know what they're doing for that. And again, just like Cotto probably wouldn't want to fight and give Canelo the crowd advantage by having it on the Mexican dates in September, I really don't see Team Canelo, Oscar, the Reynosos, and all them wanting to fight all the way on the East Coast in New York. You know what I mean? I don't even remember the last Canelo fight that happened in New York, to be honest. So Vegas is one of the boxing meccas, and New York is too, but I think it's more neutral ground. So I believe personally it'll happen in Vegas. That's what I personally think. Now they're talking about the Thomas and Mack Center in MGM. Let me give you guys a little bit of quick background on that. I think they want the MGM. That's a bigger venue than the Thomas and Mack Center, but there's a lot of behind the scenes politics. Now, you know, Oscar De La Hoya is buddy with Bob Arum now. They're cool. They're on regular terms. And if you remember, Bob Arum's kind of been going at the MGM. He was mad that they had Mayweather posters up when it was his fight week for, I think it was for Pacquiao or something like that. He was mad at that. Then he was mad, and instead of doing the Mayweather-Pacquiao Grand Arrivals at the MGM, they did their own thing at the Mandalay Bay. So that's Bob Arum. But the reason I'm saying this is because I think there's some politics, and those two, Al Heyman, Top Rank, Golden Boy, Oscar, they've kind of joined forces, and Al Heyman has become more or less the common enemy. You know what I'm saying? It's like you rally with your enemy to defend against another enemy. So to me, Arum and De La Hoya are in more of cahoots with each other. So I don't know if the MGM, I feel like this is just speculation, but I think the politics behind it is the MGM data. They're not liking the way business is being conducted or how they're being treated or how they think they're being treated from the MGM, and they think they're giving Al Heyman kind of privileges and things like that. So I think that out of anything else is kind of holding up the MGM, which is why they have a plan B. So that's basically it for the Canelo Cotto updates. I really want to see the fight. Great fight. You drop your comment. Let me know who wins and all that good stuff, where you think it will take place. Do you think it will get finalized? Drop me those comments. Make sure you like my video as always. Hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing off.